And good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this edition of New Distributor Training for Saturday morning. My name is Fred Holmes. I'm an independent distributor with Zeege International, and I approve this message. Very excited for this morning. I got a lot of things I want to share with you. We've got, man, there's so much going on. I don't know if I'm going to be able to cover all of the details during our team meeting, but welcome to all of you. I see a number of our established distributors. I'm not going to welcome everybody by name just because I'm going to definitely miss somebody. But in particular, I want to welcome those of you that are brand new distributors. This training is really for you this morning. What we're going to do is we're going to cover what I call the checklist for new distributors. Giving you, putting you in a position where you can actually accomplish the goals that you desire for your Zeege business. I'm going to go through many things very, very quickly. I encourage you to grab your journal. I keep mine handy all the time. Grab your journal. You're going to want to start, especially for those of you that are brand new. Grab something, even if it's just a spiral notebook or something. Something you can start archiving the information you're going to gather here as you pursue your career with Zeege International. I started this 30, I lose count. We don't want to do math in my head. That's way too much entertainment value to watch me do math in my head. But it's, 30 plus years ago, I left my previous occupation as a cross-country truck driver to get involved in this enterprise, this great, entrepreneurial movement of network marketing. And I started very early on with spiral notebook binders. These things were really cheap. They, I was able to archive, all the trainings and that sort of thing. Now, over the years, obviously, I've done pretty well. I can afford these nice leather-bound journals. I don't know if you can see behind me there. There's a whole series of these that I just keep going through, and I encourage you to do the same thing. It's going to be very helpful to you in the long run. So grab your journal, grab your pen, put it on turbo speed. I'm going to go through the information I have this morning. I'm going to then open up for the balance of our session to questions and answers. I will do my very, very best to answer all the questions. I've also enabled a feature I'm not accustomed to using, which is the Q&A message, and I'm not 100% sure I know how to use it. You can put your questions in the chat box, or you can, and certainly when you do that, make a note to do it to all participants. That way other people can see your questions. And we'll see what we can do with that, and then we'll take a short break before the top of the hour. We'll come right back at 11 a.m. Pacific. That's 2 p.m. Eastern. We're going to do a short team-wide meeting. We'll kind of fill in some of the pieces here. We like to do that. We call it the first Saturday of the period meeting. So we'll give you as many of the updates and the focus as we possibly can for, period 139. Is that right? Yes, 139. Because over the next 90 days, Zeege is going to transform not only the company, but many, many, many of the distributors, and in particular, the newest distributors are going to be the ones that are going to have the greatest benefit if you take down the notes I'm going to share with you and get yourself off to a good start. Now, and I'm going to try and keep track of the comments here. Very good. Radcliffe, Kentucky. And let me do this before I'm, before I lose track of this thought. Many of you participate in the the presentations that we offer, whether it be Pat Anderson's Health Talks webinar on Wednesday evenings, the Biz Talks business presentation that typically I conduct on Thursdays, new distributor training, and you may not necessarily be part of our organizations, and everybody is welcome. I learned a long, long time ago, if there's something that I can share that benefits another distributor, while it may not directly benefit me, it overall benefits the company, and one person's story may be the reason why somebody else joins the business. And so everything I do, and so many of the team does, is for the overall Zija organization. Now, that being said, while everybody is welcome, I do want to encourage you, plug into your own upline, diamond upline leadership. There are many teams out there in Zija that have tremendous information and resources. Nothing that I share should be taken to contradict what one of your upline diamond leaders is suggesting to you. Take all of the information. Everybody has something to contribute to your future success. And I say that because before I actually get into my first point this morning on your checklist for new distributors, I'm going to encourage you to get some foundational information underneath your belt, especially if you've either never been involved in network marketing in the past, but more importantly, because a lot of people have been involved in network marketing at one time or another in their life, if you've not had the success that you've desired in network marketing, I encourage you to plug into some resources that I've made available on my YouTube channel. If you go to youtube.com/Fred Holmes Zija, and then again /playlists. Okay, at that matter of fact, let me just put this in the chat box here. I think I can do this real quick. I'm putting into the chat box for those of you that are on a mobile phone. If you just tap your screen, it'll bring up the little boxes at the bottom where you can see the chat windows and that sort of thing. My YouTube channel is www.youtube.com/Fred Holmes Zija. And you're welcome to go there. I encourage you to subscribe to the channel. You get notified instantly when new trainings or webinars or presentations have been uploaded. On that website, you will see a tab that says playlists, and I'm going to go ahead and just put the direct link in there right now. /playlists. On that playlist, there's 4 videos. Okay, they are new distributor training. The first video is it's a 30-minute presentation. It's called New Distributor Training, and what it is, it's a compilation of the information I've received over many years, designed to answer the questions that every new person has. What do we do, and how do we do it? Okay, and if you take the 30 minutes to watch that, you will get a great foundation in what this is, the business of creating distribution organizations with an eye towards developing large consumer bases. A lot of people don't get network marketing. It's not about selling a product. Now, that being said, that's what we do. We sell our products, and we're very fortunate with Zija to have the finest products in the marketplace, and more importantly, products that people already are looking for. You don't have to convince people they need our products. They're looking for our products. They just don't know they exist. They have no idea what we have to offer. Now, we sell the products, but that's not what network marketing is. Okay? Some people say, oh, well, it's about recruiting distributors. Well, that's not what we do. Okay? Now, yes, we do that. We do recruit distributors. However, that's not the concept of this distribution model. What this distribution model is, it's about creating distribution organizations, teams that develop large numbers of consumers. And if you think about it, isn't that what we all want? Okay, don't we all want to help as many people as we can? You can help a lot of people by simply sharing the product with them. You can help more people by sharing the income opportunity and leveraging the efforts of others. But in the end result, from a business perspective, what we are looking for is true residual income, and for many people, income that can provide a substantial part-time income, a secondary income stream. Maybe it's a full-time income, so you can transition into owning your own business, working from home or wherever you want, under your terms, your schedule. For others, it's a way to create, true financial security, financial prosperity. And you can actually move to the next level, which is financial abundance, where money is no longer an issue. I mean, think about that. Being able to conduct your life, not worrying about the cost, that you can always pick up the checkbook and write the check. Now, this this first little training, 30 minutes long, if you master that, it'll teach you everything you need to know to not only develop your Zija business, but create that leverage that comes from having many other people involved. I mean, would you like to have 10,000 people that buy your product every single month? Okay, if you're not sure to the answer to that, let me give you the answer to that. Yes, you do. Okay, that's the size of my organization. And I certainly didn't go out and get 10,000 customers by myself. I used this distribution model and the leverage that comes from it. Now, in that playlist, that's the first video. It's 30 minutes long. And I encourage you not to just to listen to it once, listen to it as often as necessary, as many times as necessary, until you can teach it to others. Now, the next three little videos that are part of that four video playlist, the next three videos combined would be considered the fast start training, if you will. They're about 10 minutes of each piece, so another 30 minutes to look at them. You know, how to develop a prospect list, how to you know, share and develop your Zija story, your story, how to do a 90-day game plan. If you take the time to go through that, that will give you an excellent foundation on what I'm going to cover right now, your new distributor, you know, checklist, what you need to have to get going. Well, I definitely encourage you to go through that. Make that available to your team members if you find value in it. Okay, if you find value in it, make it available to other people. Now, once you've got the foundation down, here's I'm going to give you 5 things I want you to you know, kind of add to your checklist. And you're going to find that as I go through this, I am not going to be in, not one of these 5 points that I'm going to share with you has anything to do with understanding the details of the compensation plan. Folks, that is a false, you know, perspective that you need to know the compensation plan, you know, in and out to be able to answer questions. Anything that you think you need to know so that you can answer questions is moving you in the wrong direction. Okay, the foundation of success in this type of a business model is duplication. Make it simple, make it easy to teach, easy to learn, easy for the new person to teach others. And being the answer person is not duplicatable. So I'm not going to be talking anything about it. I'm not going to be talking about product information. Okay, because once again, the more knowledgeable you are about the compensation plan, the more knowledgeable you are about the products and the ingredients and so on, the less likely you are to achieve the results you're looking for from a financial perspective. This flies in the face of everything that you may have learned as a traditional business owner, as a successful salesperson. All I can tell you is that if you are coachable, if you're willing to learn this business model will pay you more than anything that I have ever seen, with less effort and less time involvement. And quite frankly, the key ingredient is the concept of residual income, to be able to do it once and be paid on it over and over and over. So with that preliminary stuff, let's talk about the checklist. Number 1, first on the checklist is to know your upline. Okay, and a lot of what I do on Saturday mornings has to do with the questions and the situations I've dealt with during this preceding week. And this was one of the interesting things that was presented to me this week. New distributor. I asked for the memory jogger from me, sent that out, and I suggested that they get plugged into their upline leaders. And the response back was, well, how do I do that? And Here's one of the challenges you have, and this is why this checklist is so important for those of you, especially right now in Zija with the pace of growth that we're about to go through. You need to take responsibility for the development of your business. Be very clear on this. Some of you have been sponsored by a new Zija distributor that may be so new they can't spell Zija yet. Okay? You have to take responsibility for your business. Now, if you happen to be sponsored by one of our leaders, they already know these things. They already know what to do. But if you're being sponsored by somebody that got in yesterday and their sponsor got in the day before, and you may have to go up 3 or 4 levels to find somebody who's been in longer than a week, you need to take responsibility for your business. So number one on your checklist, know your upline. Now, how do you know who those people are? Well, there's a couple of ways to do that. In your back office, your Zija back office, there's an area that will give you your upline leadership, who those people are. However, there's a lot of people between you and the next person in your enrollment tree that's there to help you, but they may not show up. In a perfect world, your sponsor will make sure you are introduced to your upline leadership. The reason that you need to be connected directly to your upline is very simple. You can be incredibly successful in this business and not know a thing other than how to get somebody else with more tenure, more experience, more results than you to share the story, whether it's the story of the product and how it works for people, or whether it's a story of the business and how the business can benefit people looking for an income opportunity. This was one of the things that really kind of dialed me in the early days when I first started. I went from driving an 18-wheeler cross country to being a professional network marketer. Didn't happen overnight, but it never would have happened if I had to learn how to do it first. I was fortunate 30 plus years ago, my original sponsor in my very first company was already $1 million earner. And I let him do most of the heavy lifting in building my business. And if you maintain that concept that you don't need to know everything, you need to know the people who can answer the questions. So this is why it's number one on your checklist, is to know your upline. What do you want to know? You want to know their stories, so you can share the stories of others, whether it's the story of success with the product, stories of success in the business. You need to know how to get in touch with them. Every leader has a kind of a different format that they like to use for being able to offer their support to you. For instance, my situation, I prefer people text me with a date and time that they'd like me to jump on a video conference, a Zoom meeting, or a telephone conference to introduce me to their prospective customer, prospective distributor. Other people like to have a direct call. Here's another one that's a little different. I don't use my cell phone. Okay, I work 100% from home. I use my landline. Okay, this is what I use. And so, everybody has a little different format, but you want to connect with, and I suggest, have at least 2 or 3 or 4 people that are part of your upline support team that you can call on for them to support you in the building of your business. And I'm going to say it again because it's really important. If you're brand new and you know nothing about this business, but you simply invite people to look at your business, to look at your product, and put them on the line, whether it's a video conference or a telephone call, put them on the line with somebody else. Let somebody else share the information. Let somebody else share their story. If that's all you do, then you are already, well above the masses in terms of your understanding of creating success in this business. That's exactly what I did the day I started in Zija. And keep in mind, I'd already retired from the industry. I was able to retire in 10 years. From the time I started my first network marketing company, I was there 2 years, went into the next one, was 8 years. I was with that company when they went from where Zija is today to $500 million a year in sales, and I made a fortune and I retired. Well, fast forward, when I joined Zija, I didn't waste time being the guy who was already $1 million earner and knowing everything about everything. I did what I tell brand new distributors to do. I made a short list. I put on there a dozen people that I was going to share my product with. At the end of the first week, 6 of those people were my customers. I had a second list with a dozen people I wanted to introduce to my business. By the end of the second week, of those 12 people, 3 of them came into the business. They started with diamond packs, and in less than 2 weeks, I was in profitability in my business. And I started with, the biggest package, the Builder Premium system, we call it today, in 2 weeks. Now, why was that? Had nothing to do with having a huge list of professional network marketers. None of those people were professional network marketers. None of those people, well, most of those people were completely unaware that I had been very successful in the industry many years earlier. Okay. The reason for that success was I did what I suggest. I invited people to look. I shared a little bit of information with them using a tool. I didn't do the information. The tool gave the information. I put them on the phone with my upline and let my upline do all the heavy lifting. So that's why that's number 1 on your list. Get to know who your upline is or are, however that's supposed to be said. Learn their stories, and then be able to connect with them. Learn, ask them, what's the best way for me to connect with you to put you on the phone or in a meeting with one of my prospects. Number 2 on your list is to learn the introduction protocol. This is very, very important because it all leads to the concept of a simple, duplicatable system. If you're doing this one thing, inviting people to look and then plugging them into somebody else, you're doing the exact correct activities that are going to accelerate your business, create a profitable business in a very short period of time. But it implies that you understand how to introduce your prospective distributor or customer. But I'm going to be talking primarily about distributors because that's where the leverage comes in. How to introduce your prospective distributor to your upline. So you may want to write this in your notes, the introduction protocol. It needs to be short. It needs to have a consistent pattern, and you need to be able to hand off the call quickly. Okay, if you're spending more than 30 seconds introducing your upline sponsor or upline leader and your prospect, then you're saying too much. So here's the introduction protocol. Start by introducing the upline to your prospect. And when you introduce your upline, say something like, Billy Bob prospect, I want to introduce you to upline, Big Shot, whatever, right? And you introduce the upline by sharing 3 things, okay? Identify their rank, identify their results, and then make the statement, they're being a big help to me. Now, let me explain why those 3 things. Identify their rank. Now, you might be, if you're introducing me to your prospect, you say, this is Fred Holmes. He's a triple diamond with the company. You're introducing your immediate sponsor. It could be, this is, Billy Bob, and he's a Builder 1000. Okay. This is Mary Lou. She's a silver. They're not going to know what the rank means. Okay. They don't. All right. All they know is it's some kind of recognition of success. Now, Builder 1000. Well, that sounds really good. That's got to be better than the Builder 200, right? That's like 5 times better. A gold. Wow, gold. That's the top of the metals, right? This is my upline sponsor, Sammy. He's already a bronze. Bronze. Wow, they're already in the metals. they don't know what it is. It is simply a statement of accomplishment. Okay, what you're doing is you're establishing the person, the upline you're introducing your prospect to, as somebody who has more knowledge, more experience, more success than you, and that's why you brought them to your prospect to them. Okay, so identify the rank. Number two, make a reference to results. So for instance, if you're introducing me, you'd say, this is Fred Holmes. He's a triple diamond with the company, one of the company's top income earners. Okay. And depending, you know, I mean, I've had people say he's a 7-figure income earner or a multiple 7-figure income earner. Well, that's all very impressive, but not everybody has, you know, immediate access to a, you know, a diamond that's made millions. You could be introducing your prospect to your upline. Mary Lou, this is, you know, my upline Bob. He's already a bronze distributor in the company, creating a substantial part-time income. There's a reference to results. Now, what's a substantial part-time income? Who knows? Doesn't make any difference. You're following a protocol that's designed to establish the upline you're introducing your prospect to is not only somebody with experience, but somebody with track record. Okay. Now, the third element of that introduction protocol, that when you introduce your upline, say this phrase: and she has been a tremendous help to me as I launch my business. She's been an incredible help in building my business. They have been a big help to me. The reason for that third comment is we're starting to establish in the mind of your prospect how we do the business. It's not dependent upon the brand new person needing to know everything, but rather working with people that do know how to do this, and they're a big help to us. See, all of this is incredibly significant when you understand what this business really is. It's a business of creating a simple system that easily duplicates throughout the entire organization. And your prospect has no idea how we do Zija. They think how we do Zija is what we do. That's why it's so important from the very first contact. When you contact a friend, a neighbor, family member, an acquaintance, somebody you used to work with, somebody that used to be your neighbor in a town you used to live in 10 years ago, when you're contacting them, from that moment forward, whatever you do is what they believe is how we do Zija. That's why it's so important that you keep it very simple, very duplicatable. Follow the system. Now, once you've introduced the upline, you want to immediately introduce the prospect to the upline. And you're going to do a very similar thing. You're going to say three things. Say something about your prospect to the upline that kind of recognizes their ability or capacity, their experience to be successful. Okay, and so Bob, this is my friend Mary Lou. She's been with the county for many, many years. Okay, what's that mean? That means she has a track record that demonstrates good work ethics. She's very successful in her hair salon business. Whatever it might be, and forgive me, I've been rolling pretty hard here for the last 3 weeks, so I'm getting a little bit of brain fog, and I'm talking, so I'm not drinking. XM Plus and Limitless. This is the breakfast of champions. Well, you got to throw in, got to throw in the plant protein bar, right? But say something about their ability, their capacity, the success that they've had. Okay. Number two, say something nice. Okay. Here's a good example. Billy Bob, I've got Mary Lou on the line. Mary Lou is a stay-at-home mom. She's been raising and homeschooling 3 of her children for several years now. She's one of the nicest ladies you'll ever meet. She's, she has a genuine passion for helping people. say something important about them, say something nice about them, and then the final thing is say something about what they might want. Okay, so this is Mary Lou. She's a stay-at-home mom. She's homeschooled and raising 3 kids. Very busy, but she's one of the nicest people you ever meet. She's always the one that's there to help other people, and she would really be interested in finding a way to create a full-time income working part-time from home around her children's schedule. Okay, say something important about them, say something nice about them, and say something about what they might want. When you do that, you have edified your prospect. Okay, so the prospect's thinking, wow, I'm being introduced as this special person to this, successful Zija distributor. And you're giving the upline a path to work with. Okay, if we understand what they might want, then we can speak to their listening. Okay, if the prospect is only interested in being able to improve their health or lose weight, and we start talking about money, disconnect. If the prospect's interested in making a lot of money, and we're talking about weight management and moringa oleifera and mangosteen and everything else, disconnect. But you can share you can do that introduction protocol, introduce the upline first, reference rank, reference results, and they're being a big help to me. Then immediately introduce the prospects, say something important, something nice, and something that would be meaningful to them, and then immediately hand off the call. It's a 3-step process. Introduce the upline, introduce the prospect. 3rd step, hand off the call. And this is where most people get hung up. They want to keep talking and sharing information because they don't know how to hand off the call. As soon as you're through saying, and Mary Lou would be really interested in creating a full-time income to working part-time from home around the children's schedule, and then hand off the call like this. So Mary Lou, this is Billy Bob. Billy Bob, this is Mary Lou. Okay, just like you would like maybe at a party or something like that. Hey Frank, this is Mary. Mary, this is Frank. Here's the most important step. As soon as you hand off the call, Mary Lou, this is Bob. Bob, this is Mary Lou. As soon as you hand off the call, you need to do 2 things. Number 1, write this in your notes. Number 1, shut up. Stop talking. Let the upline carry the heavy lifting for you. Number 2, get out your notes. Now, this might be a little bit of a challenge if you're doing a video conference, but I've got a couple of, particularly I'm thinking of one young fella. I'm working directly with James Kreth out of Georgia. He does a lot of video conference introductions with me, and as soon as he hands off the call, I can tell he's sitting there with his little notes. He's writing down notes. What is he doing? He's making notes on what the upline is saying, because as soon as possible, we want to build your story where you become a Builder 500 your first week. You make, $137 your first week in the business, so that you can be doing these calls with your new distributors. All right, and that's why you want to take notes. So the introduction protocol, critical part of being able to do this business if you want to grow fast and you want to grow big. If you want to grow slow and you don't want to grow big, you don't have to worry about this. What do you think? Should I get a little? Now, number 3, get plugged in. Now, getting plugged in involves a couple of different things. Number 1, get plugged into the resources available by your upline leadership. And I'm going to give you examples. Some of the resources that I provide that you can get plugged in has absolutely nothing to do whether you're in my pay line or anybody else's pay line. We want to all provide that support. But you want to get plugged in to your upline resources. Now, lots of the diamonds and higher ranked people are putting a lot into the field to be resources for the team. Now, example, when I personally sponsor somebody or a team that I'm working with, I encourage them to get plugged into me immediately. First step, get on my mailing list. Okay, get the email announcements of events and activities and that sort of thing. And you can do that if you'd like. Go to my website. It's fredholmes.com, www.fredholmes.com. Click on contact. You'll see all my contact information's there, my home phone, my cell phone, my email, my favorite color, you know, all that stuff is there. But if you scroll down, you'll see a place where it says subscribe to the newsletter. And you put in your name and your email address, and you'll be automatically added to the newsletter. So that's one way to plug into what I'm sharing in the field. I encourage people to subscribe to my YouTube channel, you know, www.youtube.com/Fred Holmes Egypt. When you get there, subscribe. Okay, this way you're notified when you know, a broadcast or a training you know, has been uploaded to the YouTube channel. Connect with me on Facebook. I've got two pages. I've got the business page, which is at Fred Holmes Egypt Business. The personal page, which is at Fred W. Holmes. W stands for wealth. Fred W. Holmes. It doesn't stand for wealth, but it sounded good, huh? You know, get plugged into me on YouTube. Not YouTube, Facebook. That way there's another form of communication. Many of your upline leadership are doing that. I know that you know, Reed Nelson and his team with Pat Terry and Mac McDonald, they've got a lot of resources. Pat Anderson, you want to get plugged in here to Pat Anderson. She's got her team website's called www.clubmoringa.com, and it's very generic. Okay, you don't have to worry about sending one of your team members there, because none of it is team identified. It's open to everybody in ZJ. She's got a tremendous amount of resources. So get plugged into your, you know, plug into the stuff I've shared with you. Get plugged into your own upline diamond leadership. All right. Many of them will have resources for you. Number two, get plugged into the corporate resources. ZJ International is making a lot of information support available to you. And if I got Lorraine Best. Lorraine, you may, if you can do this for me, see if you can put into the chat box the ZJ Champions link. ZJ International has recently, under the guidance and direction of our new CEO, is implementing some strategies that I think are, you know, I'm 100% on board with the things that they're doing. And I got to be candid with you. I'm not that guy that just, you know, automatically says, oh, whatever corporate's doing is great. I'm not that guy. You know, I've been around a long, long time. I know what corporate does well. I know what corporate doesn't do well. I am 100% on board with many of the strategies and tactics that the new CEO and his team are bringing to the field. They have set up private Facebook pages for the, you know, different levels of leadership in the field, different levels of distributor leadership. But they have set up this page, the ZJ Champions page, for every single member of the ZJ family. And you really want to be plugged into that. Now, it's a private Facebook page. You can't find it by searching for it, but you can get there directly through a link. Simply sign up. Okay, sign up and you'll be approved, and that's where you're going to find a lot of the corporate information. So get plugged into their Facebook page for all ZJ distributors. Get plugged into the company's YouTube channel. Go to youtube.com, search for ZJ International, and then you'll see several different links for that, but look for the official ZJ International YouTube page. You can do the same thing on Vimeo, Vimeo. So do a search there. There you're going to find a lot of the assets, the videos and that sort of thing. They're uploading a lot of product information videos directly to the YouTube channel. And what I particularly like, it's the kind of information that you want to share. It doesn't necessarily have incredible detail, science and tech, you know, all the technology behind the product, but it shares the product story. Number 4, I'm going to keep moving here real fast. Number 4, As a brand new distributor, you need to, well, you want to establish some long-term goals. I always suggest start with the end in mind. Don't be that person who really wants to have a full-time income. You want to be able to replace your, your $50,000 a year job with a $50,000 a year income from your own part-time home-based business. Don't be that person that says, well, I'm going to try it for a little while and see how it works, and if it really works good, then I'll put more energy into it. No, set the goal. Set the long-term goal. Commit to that. Nobody ever achieves greatness by committing to mediocrity. Oh, that was good. I like that. Let me say it again. Nobody ever achieves greatness by committing to mediocrity. Commit to greatness. When I started in Zija, my first goal was to make $1 million. Now, that goal wasn't put in terms of, I'll give it a year, I'll give it 2 years, I'll give it 3 years. My commitment to doing Zija was until I made that first $1 million. That was the goal. But now, once you've established the longer term goals, as a brand new distributor, you really want to be able to focus on immediate short-term goals. What do you do now? What do you do next? What do you do next? The compensation plan will help you with that, but the short-term goals, first one is to get 2 people. Get 2 people who are active. Now, in the beginning, that tends to be 2 customers. We are ideally looking for 2 distributors. Get those 2 people. Because once you get those 2 people who are active, you become active and qualified. Don't get hung up on the terms. That's just the next things you need to do. Once you get those 2, you need to help those 2 get their 2. And you're creating your 2 legs of your binary tree, but what your focus is to rank advance. Hit first Builder 500, then Builder 1000. And as you develop people, one of those people will want to do what you're doing. They'll get 2 and they'll help them get 2 and they'll become a Builder 500, and that can then take you to bronze. Your upline will help you with this, but you need to have that game plan. You need to have that. You need to be able to not just visualize it, but know the specifics. What kind of volume do you need to have on a weekly basis to achieve Builder 500? What's your timeline? I want to be Builder 500 my first 30 days. Great. You need 125 PV in each of your 2 legs every week over the next 4 weeks, and you'll be a Builder 500. Parlay that into, how do I become a Builder 1000? What are the requirements to be bronze, the next level of the compensation plan? Know what the details are. That way you can tell whether your activities are producing the results that are necessary. Finally, number 5, we're at the end of the list. Establish your DMO, your daily method of operation. Now, it's beyond the scope of this morning's presentation to go into detail on that. I've done that a number of times. I'll be doing it again. But your daily method of operation, understand that whether you're putting in 30 minutes a day to your Zija business or 3 hours a day to your Zija business, you must have a daily method of operation. You have to have a game plan for your activities. This is just called being a business owner. We have to teach these kind of things because, here's the breakdown in the world. 95% of the world works for 5% of the world. Okay? 5% of the world are business owners. The other 95% are employees. And it's typical employees show up for work at a time that they know they need to show up because they've been told when to show up. They know exactly what the activities are they're going to do because they were told what to do. They know when to take their breaks. They know when their lunch break is. They know when to go home because they're told. This is how most people earn their income. Business owners have to do all of that for themselves. They have to make a decision of when they show up. They have to decide what their activities are. They have to decide when those activities are done. At the end of the day, there's something business owners always do is they monitor or evaluate their activities, their results. How many sales did I make? What were those sales? Set the goals for tomorrow. This is all concept of self-employment. Get together with one of your upline leaders to talk about a DMO, daily method of operation. But any daily method of operation has to include the activities that create results. How many people did you share the product with? How many people did you share the income opportunity with? Once you get a little team, how many people did you teach to do the same thing? And what are the activities? Share the product, share the opportunity, teach others to do the same. And the daily method of operation implies that you have correct activities and that they are scheduled and that you follow your schedule. And at the end of the day, you recap your results. So you can either celebrate your success for the day, or if you didn't get the results you were looking for, fix that so you can then start again the next day. So 5 things, a checklist for a new distributor. Know who your upline are, okay? Learn their stories, how to get a hold of them. Number 2, your introduction protocol. Become really good at that, because if that's all you did, you're going to build an incredible business, and you're definitely going to get off to a fast start. Number 3, get plugged in. Get plugged into the resources of your upline. Get plugged into the resources of corporate. Number 4, establish your short-term goals, but more importantly, know what they are. Get 2, how much volume is necessary to become a Builder 500, a Builder 1000, a Bronze. You get to Bronze, it's going to be a lot easier to figure out the rest, okay? Those first steps are just compounding after that. Finally, be clear on this. You're going to have to work your ZJ business, whether you work at 30 minutes a day or 3 hours a day. Have your game plan in place. So, a lot of information. I told you that I had a lot of stuff I wanted to share with you. Hopefully this has been helpful. I'm going to go over here for the few minutes we've got left. I'm going to go over here and thank you so much. By the way, true leadership is being demonstrated in this call right now. Lorraine Best just placed I asked her to do something for me. Why did I ask her? Because I knew she'd do it. Because I knew she was competent and capable and willing to do it. So there's a link there in the chat box to the ZJ Champions group. Just go there and sign up for that. And let's see here. And if you're checking out what she's doing, I'm going to have Lorraine do the training one of these days, because she's captioning everything I'm saying, and she's just doing it a lot better. Big help to me. Oh, wow. She's got the notes. You know what? If you just cut and paste the chat box into your notes, then you've got the best notes. Let's see. Very good. I think we've got everything here. Folks, any questions, any comments, something I can help with right now? Because I'm going to shut her down and take a little break here and come right back for our team meeting. Deanna, thank you. I appreciate you recognizing Lorraine. She's done a great job. All right, I think we're up to date on everything. Let me look real quick here. Branson, Missouri, Kim and Sean. That's Bronson. Oh, Michigan. I was going to Branson. I was in Branson. I'm not so sure I've been in Bronson. Although, when I was a kid, there was a TV show called Then Came Bronson, and I desperately wanted that 900cc Sportster he had. I even bought the little ski cap, and some of you are going, what are you talking about? Johnny, good morning. All right, I think we're good for right now. Okay, let's do this, folks. I am going to, my question and answer box. Sprint to summer info. Yes, Deanna, do me a favor. Come on back here in a few minutes. Thank you. Deanna asked about the sprint to summer info, and I was going to use that as an example. This is elegant. This is an elegant thing to be doing. The way it's constructed. If you're actively participating in the sprint to summer, you're doing all the correct activities to build your business. I'm going to shut down. Looks like for 8 minutes. Go check on your mom. And then I'm going to come right back at the top of the hour. We'll do a short first Saturday of the period team meeting. We'll talk about the sprint to summer activities, some updates. You can just stay connected right now, because I'm not going to shut off the meeting. or if you need to take a break or whatever, you can just log back into the same link. But I'll be right back, and yes, I will play some more music for you. All right, thanks for joining us. I'll be back in just a minute, and let's